What's going on? Travis here, coming at you, Forward Strong. Wanted to do a video about motivation. I've gotten this question quite a bit over the years from folks asking, how do you always stay motivated? What are different things that you need to do to stay motivated? And the truth is, and if anybody's ever told you that they're 100% motivated all the time, they're lying to you. They're full of shit, right? Because it just doesn't happen. I would say I'm 90-10, like 90% of the time I'm motivated, but there's that 10% of the time where I just don't feel like doing anything, right? And that's the honest truth about motivation. Motivation, just one of those things, right? Think of it as motivational is almost like fuel, right? Like you have a motivational fuel tank, so to speak, inside of you, right? Willpower can be added into this motivation fuel tank, all right? So there's different things that get us motivated, right? So I'll say New Year. You know, the New Year just hit. So everybody was super motivated to get started on new goals and yada, 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 the New Year's resolution. That motivation is, for a lot of people, is starting to run dry. That willpower that they initially had when the new year hit, right? What are some other things here? Let's say new goals. New goals, whatever. So you start new goals, or you come up with some new goals. You start a new program or something like that. You're highly motivated to continue. Videos, quotes, you know, that's something cool. That's something that gives people motivation quite a bit. You come across Instagram or Facebook or whatever, you see a motivational quote, you see a motivational video, and boom, you're motivated. Is that always going to get you motivated? I'll tell you right now, I'll see motivational quotes, I'll see motivational videos and stuff like that. Doesn't necessarily get me motivated. It takes a whole lot more. But those are some different sources of motivation, right? Results, I'll say results too. A lot of different sources feeding that motivation. But I'm telling you, the truth is, you're not always going to be motivated. And if you find yourself getting a little bit more demotivated than you are motivated, more than likely there's some different things going on. Like maybe it's time you reevaluate your goals. See, you know, what is it that you're really going after? What are you trying to achieve, right? Reevaluate your goals. Are you getting the results that you want? Like it's pretty damn frustrating when you're putting in the effort and you're not getting anything in return, right? That's definitely going to suck your motivational fuel tank down dry pretty quick, right? But back to the question at hand. So the question that I got is, Travis, how do you consistently stay motivated all the time? And my first reply to that was, I'm not always motivated all the time. There's days where I don't feel like doing jack shit, right? And I would say it's like 90-10. Like 90% of the time I'm super fired up. I'm pumped. I'm excited. I'm motivated to take action. I'm motivated to do the thing, whatever the thing may be. There's a lot of different things, right? But I'm not always consistently motivated. Sometimes, just depends, you know? Stuff gets hard, whatever. It's like more like 80-20, right? Thing is, I'm not motivated all the time. So you can't simply rely on motivation to keep pushing you forward. It's like I mentioned, there's a fuel tank. We all have this fuel tank, motivation. It's going to be filled freaking to the brim sometimes, and then sometimes it's going to be completely empty, right? Same thing with your willpower. Willpower was strong. Anytime you start a new program, or you start cleaning up your nutrition, or you go on some stupid diet, and that willpower is like really strong the first couple of days, and then it starts to wear. It starts to get really tough. So what is going to keep you in line? What's going to keep you on track? And this is what a lot of people are missing. Rules, principles, codes, non-negotiables, non-negotiables, okay? That's what those are. These right here, these will always be there. There is no 90-10, 80-20 on the rules, principles, codes, and non-negotiables that you create. If you don't have a set of these, and I'll kind of explain a little bit more, these help forge who you are. These help forge your lifestyle, right? So, days where you don't feel like getting up and getting out of bed, all right? There's days where that comes. When you have certain rules, principles, codes, non-negotiables in place, that shit changes and it gets you out of bed, right? So, for example, one of my codes that I live by, that I think everybody should live by, this one, is the old alarm clock code. I got this from Jocko Willink years ago, reading his book. It's winning the first battle of the day, right? That alarm clock goes off. Do you push snooze or do you get up? The code is don't push snooze. Don't fucking push snooze. Like, you push snooze, you've lost the first battle of the day, right? You've lost the battle of the day. The first one, right? So that's already starting you off at a deficit for the day, right? Instead, make it a non-negotiable. When that alarm clock goes off, no matter how you feel, you got to get up. That's starting momentum. That's building momentum for the rest of the day. You've won your first battle, right? There's other non-negotiables that I have. So it's always no snooze button ever. Typically, I'm waking up before the snooze or before the alarm even goes off, right? From there, it's always big-ass glass of water. That's a non-negotiable. 32 ounces, ice cold water before anything else. And then I write down in my gratitude journal every single day. Gratitude every single day. It's a non-negotiable. Gets my mind right. Gets things moving ahead. I'm starting to implement in meditation, breathing work. It's a non-negotiable. It's a code. It's a rule that I live by. Right now, it's just something that I do every so often during the week, just a few times a week. I'll eventually build it up, right? But these are non-negotiable. These are codes that you live by. When that motivation isn't there, this is the shit that's going to get you keep moving ahead. It's going to get you showing up every single day, doing the work, even when you don't feel like doing the work, right? And I challenge you, if you don't have specific rules, principles, codes that you live by now, I challenge you, come up with 5 solid rules, principles, codes that you're going to start living by and start implementing them. Stay true to them. That's where the discipline comes in, right? Discipline, that's a D. Discipline, staying true to these rules, these principles, these codes, the non-negotiables, those create habits over the long term, right? Habits will always destroy motivation, right? You build a solid set of consistent habits that you're implementing in, day in, day out. You won't need motivation to get shit done. You won't need motivation to go work out because it's a non-negotiable. For me, training is a non-negotiable. At least 4 times a week. At least 4 times a week in some way, shape, form, or fashion, right? It's easy for me because one of my big goals is to compete in CrossFit. So obviously I got to show up and I got to put in the work with my training, right? For other folks who don't have specific, fitness-based goals where they're competing or, doing something of that nature, make fitness a non-negotiable for you. Make it a part of the code that you live by. So you train 3 days a week, 30 minutes a time. So that's 90 minutes a week, non-negotiable. You train. You live by that code. These codes, these rules, these principles, the non-negotiables. Again, they forge who you are. They forge your lifestyle. And when the motivation isn't there, you're still moving forward. So on the days where you're like, I don't feel like it, boom, but it's code. It's code, bro. Get the shit done. There's a lot of different codes, rules, and principles. You know, it goes beyond just, you know, training. There's mindset codes. There's how you live your lifestyle. So integrity is another code for me. Following through on your word, being true to your word. Like if you say you're going to do something, then fucking do it. Own up to it, right? Take responsibility. It can be applied to so many different areas of your life. So if you're finding yourself running low on motivation, think of it like this instead. It's not about motivation. If you're losing motivation consistently, come up with some rules, principles, codes, non-negotiables. These might be very, very hard to stick to when you first start implementing these into your life. That's fine. It's going to get you uncomfortable. It's going to put you outside that comfort zone. That's great. That is going to get you the change that you want. That is going to get you the transformation that you want long term, right? Might not happen overnight. And let's just say that you do break the codes. Maybe you break your own rules or principles here and there. That's totally cool. Nobody's perfect. All you need to focus in on then is just showing up the next day, getting back on track. Forget about the past. Get back on track and stay true to those rules. Stay true to those principles, codes, non-negotiables, right? So I hope that helps you out. Stop relying on motivation. Long story short here, stop relying on motivation. Start relying on the rules, the principles, the codes, the non-negotiables that you create for yourself. And stay true to those. All right? Hope that helps you out. Have a kick-ass day. Until the next time, if you got any questions, got any specific topics that you want me to chat about, got any comments on this video here, thoughts, whatever, drop them here. I'll get back to you, but I'll see you in the next one.